On Tuesday, the Council approved amendments to the Kelvin Felder Ordinance, which establishes safety requirements for entertainment venues and clubs. Councilor Hunter Williams will explain how these updates strengthens public safety. An example of some of the changes include clarifying key definitions, such as what qualifies as a late night establishment and what constitutes a serious incident. Each establishment will now be required to provide a written safety plan and emergency evacuation plan, a current interior and exterior layout, documentation of security and staff training, including conflict de escalation, high definition security camera systems with footage stored for at least 30 days. The Council has approved a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a grant agreement with the Community Foundation of Greater Birmingham to support the Northside Spark project. This action transfers over $240,000 to the City of Birmingham for right-of-way improvements across 3 Northside neighborhoods. The work will include traffic calming measures and gateway features in Norwood, as well as sidewalk repairs in Druid Hills and Fountain Heights. Now, let's hear from Councilor Brian Gunn, who represents the Norwood community. This funding stems from the settlement related to the I-2059 Downtown Bridge Replacement Project and is intended to help mitigate the ongoing impacts of the construction on nearby neighborhoods. The Council has approved allocations of discretionary funds from several district offices to support the Wildflower Alliance. The Wildflower Alliance works to uplift parents of students with disabilities by providing family support, essential resources, and a strong sense of community. Districts 1, 3, 6, 7, and 9 have all contributed discretionary funds to help advance this mission. Coming up is our conversation with Councilor Smitherman and Camisha Rivers.
Did you know that the Birmingham City Council has a Roku channel? Missed the council meeting or a committee meeting and you want to stay up to date? Check us out on Roku at Birmingham City Council for all updates in your city.
Hello, everyone. This is Crystal Smitherman, Birmingham City Councilor for District 6. Today, we are celebrating 3 years of Girls Speak Up and Speak Out. 3 years of empowering women through storytelling, community, and encouragement. I'm joined today by someone whose work truly represents the heart of this event and who is one of the panelists of this year's Girls Speak Up and Speak Out event, and someone I've known for over 10 years, Camisha Rivers, hairstylist, entrepreneur, mom, sister, everything above, and founder of Bloom by Natural Remedies. It's nice to see you, Camisha.
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So for listeners who may not know you yet, can you share a little bit about the heart behind your becoming a hairstylist and your business, Bloom by Natural Remedies, and the work you do?
My name is Camisha Rivers, and I specialize in healthy hair as well as luxury extensions for women who do not want to compromise their time. I have been in business now for over 20 years, but I started as an assistant. I assisted for 2 years, then I went on to get my professional license, and I have now been doing hair for over 20 years, so I've seen the ins and the outs. I've owned product companies, as you said, Bloom by Natural Remedies. Just revamping that now, just going through the process of the mental and spiritual aspects of owning a business, which has kept me grounded, but now it's taking my business to another level. So that's where I am.
Awesome. So I think you've been the last 2 times with your mom, if I'm correct. So the first year was 2024. We were at Sauce Furnaces. It was really fun, uplifting, unifying. We had spoken word by Kamari Moore and Salem Green, mental health insights from Dr. Richardson. The panel was led by Lady Wu, who is the moderator this time, with Vanessa Petway and Lady Candace Beavers, inspirational words from Kathy Boswell. And then we had a mother-daughter moment between my mom and I. What was something that you really enjoyed from the first year?
I would say the mother and the daughter experience. Like, that was really touching. I know my relationship that I had with my mom, and just to see you guys, I see you all the time, but to see you all in that element, it really did something to my heart.
Yay, I'm happy to hear that. And then we had last year, which was year 2, and we had performance by London Johnson, who is performing again this year. We honored First Lady Kendra Woodfin, my mom, Judge Carol Smitherman, and a couple of other women. And we had another panel. The panel was moderated by Dr. Johnson, which was formerly Dr. Richardson, with Lady J, Candace Beavers again, and Judge Blanchard. And you were also a sponsor giveaway last year. Thank you so much for that.
Welcome.
How was that, being able to give away a free silk press and lending your gifts and your talents to a woman in need?
I always try to do giveaways, but to do it in a place where we're empowering women and uplifting women, it really does me good. So I love doing giveaways. Any opportunity I get, I'm going to do a giveaway.
Yeah, same. I feel the same way. So now we're to 2026, and you're a panelist and another giveaway sponsor, actually. So I know this year is a little bit different because we have Tiffany White, who is in college, but she's a mom. We have somebody in real estate. We have you as an entrepreneur. What conversations do you hope this diverse group of panelists will spark amongst some women listening and attending?
Honestly, I feel like the mask that women wear on an everyday basis is something that needs to be exposed, because it affects how we operate in life, in business, in relationships, and everything. And I just want to be able to freely speak and just, share what God has brought me from and brought me through in order to get me to where I am now.
I love that. So what does women's empowerment mean to you personally? Especially, you service women all day. You pour into 2 beautiful young ladies as well. You talk about your relationship with your mom and your sister, but what does that mean to you? How do you contribute to that?
So I would say women's empowerment, when I think of women's empowerment, I think of the word intentional and just making sure you're cultivating even the women in your lives. Like, today, I tried to make sure that, I called my clients that were on the sick and shut-in list, had some things going on, just making sure I check on people, making sure I'm uplifting, making sure I'm being intentional, because we get so busy in day-to-day in our own lives that we forget that we are to look back and lift up. Just a simple, how's your day going, will make somebody feel so much better. So just being intentional.
I love that. I guess And you talked about how you have a close-knit relationship with your clients. What's one theme you consistently hear from them about needing support or community?
That's the thing. They don't have community in a village. So they do come to the salon to get that. Like, I realize a lot of women are coming to feel supported, to just get feedback. And I'm very aware of those situations and just making sure I cultivate those people and just speak life into them.
I definitely remember, and a lot of people don't know our relationship, that you've been doing my color and my hair since I was 19 years old. And I just remember the first time I came into your shop, I was, really still a kid at 19 years old, and you really welcomed me and you poured into me. Every time I came back home from college, you're just like, you can do it, keep going. We're going to make sure your hair is cute.
Right.
But we're always also going to make sure that your mental is good, and I really appreciate that. I remember also when I did the big chop, I was going through something transitional. I was like, hey, Camisha, I want to do the big chop. I want a new beginning. You didn't question me. You said, okay, we're going to do this. Are you ready? So you did the first chop and you said, okay, how are you feeling? I said, I feel good. And then you did it, and, it was a new beginning, and you really poured life into me. I don't think we've ever talked about that, but, that was a transition to me going to a new law school, and I've taken that with me, not to be afraid of new beginnings. So the work you do definitely matters, even all these years later.
Look, you as well.
Yes. So, what advice would you give to a woman who wants to speak up for herself or her dreams but doesn't feel confident yet?
I would say, here's what I did. I would say build a personal relationship with God. That is the utmost relationship that you should be trying to seek in this season. Building your relationship with God and finding your own identity. Asking yourself the hard questions like, who am I? Like, not at a surface level, but really checking out your habits. What am I doing on a day-to-day basis that's getting me the same results? Just making sure you're doing I do a SWOT analysis in my business. I do it in my personal life as well, where I'm looking at my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities, as well as my threats. And I do it in business and in personal. So just making sure that we are looking into ourselves for, being able to speak up.
Yes, definitely. It starts from really within, because we're the ones, we wake up with ourselves, we go to bed with ourselves, and we have to be just very positive talking to ourselves. I was listening to one of my favorite songs by Mary J. Blige. It's called Good Morning Gorgeous, and she talks about the first thing in the morning before I put any makeup on when I first wake up is good morning gorgeous in the mirror. I think that's something, something bigger than just saying good morning to ourselves, is really uplifting ourselves before we even our feet touch the ground, or before we speak to another person. So, but I do want to talk about, before I ask this last question, kind of like the bigger purpose of this event. So I kind of talk about, themes throughout my life about girls speak up and speak out, whether it's really through domestic violence. I talk about, I had a college friend who was in an abusive relationship, and, I wish I had said something, seeing little things about her ex-boyfriend, the way he would kind of push her playfully and not saying something, or just hearing about other women just not feeling comfortable, just even being like, hey, girl, I know you're going through something. Let me be a supportive person for you, but having a safe space for women. I think you mentioned that you want girls to speak up and speak out to be a safe space. Right. About mental health awareness and emotional wellness. Women, we have this superhero complex where we have to be there for everybody but ourselves. But ourselves, knowing that we have to take care of each other first and pour into ourselves before we pour into others. Supporting each other, leadership, business, creative talents, and building community through just being ourselves and sharing those stories. So, but before we wrap up, what's one hope you have for every woman who walks into this year's event, and one thing you hope she walks out with?
I want women to come empty and leave full. Like full of hope, full of life, full of dreams and aspirations, and know that nothing that you're going through now will stop you from who you're becoming. Only building habits and creating good, healthy habits as well as boundaries are going to get you to where you're trying to go in this next season. So basically just to come empty and leave full.
I love that. Come empty and leave full. Well, Camisha, thank you so much for sharing your light with us today. And to everyone listening, remember, when women support women, powerful things happen. We hope to see you on May 9th for Girls Speak Up and Speak Out. Thanks for tuning in to Motion to Adjourn. Until next time, keep showing up, speaking up, and lifting up.
Here are some important updates and upcoming events that you should know about. Join Councilor Sonia Smith for a district-wide cleanup day this Saturday, May 9th, starting at the Crossplex at 9 a.m. To register and learn, contact D8Help at birminghamal.gov. We hope to see you there. Hey Birmingham, we want to hear from you. Passing a balanced budget is one of the most important jobs we have because it's not just dollars and cents. It's a statement of our values. The budget covers everything that keeps our city running. This includes public safety, roads, parks, and the services your family counts on every day. The budget has to be in place by July 1st. That means your window to have a say is right now. Take 2 minutes and fill out the budget priority survey by visiting birminghamal.gov/FY2027. Don't forget, our Motion to Adjourn mailbag is open, but we need it filled with your questions. Mailbag is your chance to connect directly with your city. Got a question, suggestion, or concern? We want to hear from you. Send us an email at bhamalcitycouncil@gmail.com and let your voice be part of the conversation here on the Motion to Adjourn podcast. Remember, together, we're building a stronger community, one idea at a time.
Thanks for listening to Motion to Adjourn. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast to learn more about your city and local government. Also, follow us on our socials on Instagram and Facebook at City Council BHAM. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.